e mihi atu, kia koutou, te iwi Māori. Nō reira, tēnei te mihi, kia koutou, kia orara, kia koutou, kia orara. Kia ora tātou, e te whānau, e ngā mihi, tēnā koutou, o te haukainga, Ngāti Kawa, no re ngā mihi tēnā koe, e te rangatira, Fred, te karakia, ngā mihi tēnā koe. I'm my Kake, and I've come with a take. It's a take I've been riding for a long, long time, I can tell you. I don't know why, but why I did stand. I stand at several local body elections. I stood for the Okada Ward many years ago, which is a ward that runs in Whangarei Onarahi and part of the city as well. It was a new experience for me. I did have good whānau support, but I just decided that I'm going to have a crack at it. And there was a big take in Whangarei, and it was around green waste and recycling. And my part of that was this whenua that I've been involved with called Te Rewarewa, which is now the last Māori block of freehold land in Whangarei Te Ringapawa. We are the kai tiaki of it. We have managed that block of land where it stands there debt-free. We are now looking to building papakainga over looking at the Whangarei Te Ringapawa harbour. And I think for me at the time, getting involved in the local body election, it was an idea of ours to open a green waste recycling centre and use that money to be able to develop our whenua. So I thought, well, maybe I should stand for council as well and use that take, green waste and recycling, as my particular angle, if you'd like, of participation in the local body election. So I did that. I got the support of my whānau and my marae at Pehiawari, and we got haulings together. We did a bit of fundraising, and I came up with the attitude of, why don't we put something on that board that says that will interest people instead of just my ugly dial? And I put up a sign which said, Mike talks rubbish. And we had it printed up and we put it up all over Whangarei. And I got the message back, everybody's driving past your signs, Mike, and they're now turning around and coming back to have a look at what you're actually talking about. You know, that first campaign was probably the closest I ever got to winning a seat anywhere in a local body election. But that set me on a path that I wanted to. I felt then, I realised that we are missing. We are missing, and we are still missing in action when it comes to representation on local body, regional council, DHB, you name it. Out of what Season is saying, out of all the councillors over all the territory agencies, district councils, there's only 3 Māori. That is not good enough. It's not good enough. It's not good enough just on our population in terms of how many Māori live in Whangarei, 34, 35%. How many in the far north? It's probably a bit higher. It's not good enough, whānau. And so I've been passionate about the fact that to do this we need to engage. And after I finished 20 plus years with Ngāti Hine FM radio, I hooked up with the Electoral Commission and have been working on and off through elections as a community advisor. One of the plans that we had was what Melody spoke about, was that we did introduce the idea of our youth kanohi te kanohi, engaging, and that has come off. And that is a good start for us. But there is still a lot of us missing in action. And how do we do that? How do we motivate our people to do what our rangatira did, our tupuna did? They were politically astute. We only have to look at te whakaputanga, te treaty. They were astute. They had political nous. I come from a line of that. Part of my whakapapa, my grandmother, who married Mauhaere Kake, was whakamā ngā hoari Pumuka. Pumuka, who had a pā here at Whāngai, signed te whakaputunga and te treaty. And maybe that's what's in my DNA that makes me think, why are not Māori better represented in local bodies? I also got to apologise to one of our Tainui Waka here, who is coming up in the next, James Fetu, because I've got some tohu that's been allocated to my photograph here, which I think are his. I just don't like to think that I tie-hearted it off him. But James, my apologies if you are here. I don't even know what the director and principal planner of Associated NZPI is, or the minister is, but hey aha, I'll take it for the day. So kia ora tātou. It talks the technicalities of standing and running successful campaigns. Well, that's not me. I wasn't that successful at it. But the pros and cons and learning strategies, there are all sorts of strategies that you can do if you're going to stand. And I can only urge people to consider getting support behind you. Thinking hard about a particular issue and just focus on that issue. What is it that could get you votes? What is it that could move people to put you into the seat? We can talk forever and a day about the non-voters or our apathy or this and that, but the apathy is in Māori and Pākehā. If you look at local body and the turnout over those, the apathy is really pathetic. Pathetic. And all I can say is that we just got to keep chipping away at it to a certain extent, but we have to be innovative. We have to get that whānau support, and we have to keep doing what we can in improving our representation and finding ways that we can do it. If you look at what happened in terms of the hapu and the involving mandate, and how that mandate got rejected, and how hapu got out and voted in big numbers because they had a passion and a cause to do something. And that passion and cause that we had around that evolving mandate vote is what we need to get and fire ourselves up and get our whānau involved in. If we can carry that fight into local body election and then into next year, in 2020, we have a general election, another 12 months away. So October, we have the local body elections, and in 2020, we have a general election. I see what we're doing in this motivation, in terms of what we're doing today, is what we can do in the general election, but we must involve ourselves and run it through the local body elections this year. I really do feel that. The important thing, if you do nothing else today here, is to go and see Anahera over there and Chikaina at that table, and just check to see where you are on the list, on the register in terms of the electoral roll. If you've moved recently, you may not be on that roll if you haven't advised them that you've moved. So it's very important that you look to see that you're enrolled. You check that out, and because unless you're enrolled, you can't vote. And these local body elections are not like the general elections where you go to a booth. They are postal. They're all postal. And again, that's something that our people struggle with. My own whānau, we struggle with filling out forms and doing the rest of it. Or they pick it up, chuck it in the bin, and they forget about it. So we need to make sure that we get enrolled and support those people that do that. The important thing is, for me, is that if we can work through the trust boards, the different organisations, in terms of where our marae will connect up, and focus on making it easier for our people to vote, or going out there and enrolling our people in those areas, I think that'll go a long way towards having a successful campaign of getting more Māori into council. I'll leave you with this little story. When I stood in the Okara ward, I told you where it was, Onarahi City, Whangarei City. At the end of that campaign, I met a whangaunga of mine in the street, and he said to me, "E hoa, I tautoko you, aroha mai that you lost." I said, "Kia ora, bro, that's good, but that's the way it is." He said, "Yeah, no, aroha mai." He said, "I got my whole whānau, we filled out the forms, and, we voted for you." I said, "Oh, you still live in Carmel?" "Yeah, we've been there for you, you know that." "Couldn't have voted for me." "Wrong ward." Aren't our whānau beautiful people when they want to be there? So, ka tangi te manu ti ori ori, ka tangi he ngā kau tangata, nō reira tēnei te mihi, kia koutou, kia orara, kia koutou, kia orara. Tēnā koutou, kia ora tātou katoa.